In this video, I'm going to show you how to generate a slide deck in Google Slides from a spreadsheet. So this could be helpful for creating reports, if you do that on a regular cadence, proposals, or really any custom Google Slides deck at scale. So the three things I'm going to show you here are how to replace text on each slide, inserting pre-made slides, and then adding charts to a slide. So the first example is having these like templated strings be replaced with actual numbers that are going to be generated from a spreadsheet. The second thing I'm going to show you is how to insert slides from a template gallery, which I have here, and you'll see just like some preset slides. I have the names of each slide to reference in the presentation notes section, which we can extract, and I will show you how to do that. And then finally, inserting charts. So on this slide, I've also added the chart to the presentation notes to denote which slide to insert the chart, and then it'll look something like this. So let's get into how to do this and a couple setup things that are to be aware of if this is helpful in your process is to create a template gallery with the tried and true slides that you're going to input time and again. These could be updated dynamically as well with the text replace and adding charts. And then you'll have this template deck that we'll pull from each time we generate a slide deck. So I can share these examples if that would be helpful. I just generated a very basic deck, but as you'll see here, like the company name, the date will be updated on each slide dynamically in this process. And to show you what we have, just a row of data, you can choose which slide to input. And just to show you the full process here, we're going to fetch the slides from that template gallery, and that would be where you pull from. So it pulled in each of the slides of this deck, and then go to generate slide deck with all the fields. I have the charts data over here. I actually formatted the chart so that it is cohesive with the slide deck itself. So you can change the color, make it look a little bit more cohesive with the slide deck. So it finished running, go back to Drive, and now I have this report that I automated, and you'll see like Automaway, the date of the presentation is added to each slide heading. The text has been replaced, and that looks good. I've inserted a org chart slide, and finally inserted that chart from that tab. So let's get into how to build this. In this sheet, I've added just some sample data points, and I will open up AppScript. So the first thing I'm going to do is rename this project to Google Slide Deck Generator. So rename that. I'm also going to take the default function, rename this to Sheet Create Slides. I'm going to let the deck template equal the ID of the template slide deck we want to use in our automation. So paste that string in. I'm also going to get the client name from the spreadsheet app.getActiveSpreadsheet .get sheet by name, and I'm going to get the deck generator tab. So that's what we named it down here, and I'm going to get the range of 2, 1. So the second row, the first column, and I'm going to get the value. And that, again, the second row, first column, that's the name that we want. The date here is also going to be, all of these values are going to be important. So for the name of the deck that we're going to create, we're going to say name equals backtick, $, curly brackets, to then dynamically input the client name, and we're going to just call it report. So in this example, it'll be Automaway report, which is the name of this project because I'm getting these repetitive tasks out of my way. We're also going to get parent folder so that we can, this is a function we're going to write And now we're going to say let copy file equal to drive app.get file by ID. We're going to use that deck template file ID to make a copy, and we're going to set the name equal to name that we just created above, and we're going to move that to the drive app.get folder by ID folder ID. And finally, we're going to say the presentation copy ID is equal to copy file.get ID. And now we're going to create a new function called slide generator, which will take in that presentation copy ID. So let's go down and add that function. I'm going to copy the name. I'm going to say function slide generator takes in the pres ID. We're also going to say the deck data we're going to just set that to this tab in our spreadsheet. And we're also going to say chart data is equal to the get sheet by name of charts, because that is what we named the tabs down here, just so we can reference those. Okay, I just moved the my head so you can see the tab. Back over to the code, we're going to say we're going to get the date, which is going to be equal to deck data.get range 22. So the second row, second column, and we're going to get the value because that was right next to our company client name. We're going to say const presentation date is equal to utilities.format date. We're going to say new date, passing in the date that we just got from the spreadsheet. Time zone will be GMT, and we're going to format it month, day, and year. The company name is going to be the same that we had above, but now we're using the deck data. So same range, 2-1, get value. We're going to let D1 equal deck data dot get range 2-3, get value. I'm going to copy these. And now I want to format these numbers. D1 is equal to D1 dot to locale string. I'm just going to say ENUS. And if you hold Option with the mouse, you can select multiple places and update that, which is helpful. And in this example, we're going to put a $sign and concatenate those together. And now we're going to create a new deck with the slides app open by ID, pres ID, which we're getting from when we call this function. And we're going to say new deck dot get slides, and we're getting all of those. They come in an array. We're going to get first slide in the deck. We're going to replace all text, period, and we're going to replace that with Q1 2025. And you could get this from the sheet, but I'm hard coding it. And just to show you what I'm referring to, it's this that we're going to update. We're also going to say new deck dot get slides, and we're going to do for each over all of those. We're going to take the slide and we're going to say slide dot replace all text, company name, which is what we've put in each header. We're going to replace with the company name that we just got from our spreadsheet. And we're also going to say new deck.get slides. And we're going to just copy this, make it easy. And this time we're going to replace the date with the presentation date. I'm just going to copy this a few times. And let's just make sure that works. So just to run through it, we're going to get the template ID. We're going to create a copy. We're going to move it to our folder that we're currently in. And actually, I need to get this code in here. So I'm going to paste in the get parent folder function. As a reminder, this code will be in my GitHub account in the video description below. This is boilerplate that we wrote in the last video. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to run sheet create slides. Review permissions. Select all. Continue. Okay, so we have the copy or the deck created. Q1 2025 was updated. These numbers were updated. So that's good. I'm actually going to, these are all templates from the slide deck template that I pulled in. So let's just modify those numbers for now. We have not inserted anything yet, but we know that it's working up to a point. So that's fantastic. I'm going to delete that for now. So now we're going to insert slides from the template gallery. So I'm just going to say get template slides. We're going to say const slide gallery ID is equal to, I'm going to copy this ID from the URL structure, paste that in. We're also going to create an empty array for our slides. And we're going to say slides app.open by ID, slide gallery ID, .get slides. And for each of those, we're going to say slide and the index. And we're going to push those slides individually with the get notes page. And this is kind of a long one because we're going to get the speaker notes shape. We're going to get the text from those speaker notes, and we're going to say as rendered string. We're going to trim that just so that if there's any space trailing or before, we can remove that. That's going to be helpful in a second. We're also going to create some helpful just variables that will come in handy in a minute as well. Okay, so what I've done in the template gallery is, like I said earlier, I've added insert as a speaker note. This is the slide where I'm going to want to add the new slide in after. So this is how I'm handling that. There may be better ways, and if you are aware of one, please let me know in the comments below. But I'm going to say new deck.get slides for each slide, and I'm going to say indie for index. I'm going to say if slide.get notes page .get speaker notes shape .get text. I should have just copied and pasted at this point. And I'm going to say is equal to insert. Then we're going to say return insert slide num, that variable we just set above, equal to the index of the slide. We're also going to, so the insert existing slide, we're going to say const insert slide is equal to new deck.get slides. And we're going to look for that insert slide num index. We're going to set a new variable to new slides added is equal to 0. And then we're going to increase that each time we add a slide. We're going to get the deck data .get data range, and then we're going to get the values. This will get us all the values from the spreadsheet. We're going to say rows.forEach is a function on that row and the index. If the index is equal to 0, we don't want to get the first row. So we're just going to return that. If the row 6, which is our slide, and actually we need to get those template slides, so I'm going to do that in 1 second. If those is not null, if there is a value there, we're going to say slides app dot open by ID, slide gallery ID, get slides, and then for each, we're going to get each of those slides, and then we're going to compare them to if the get. Again, I'm just going to copy this time. Now, if this slide has a speaker note that's equal to row 6, the value in row 6, we will say slides app open by ID, slide gallery ID, get slides at the index we're currently at because it's equal to the text in the speaker notes. And we're going to say new deck dot insert slide. We're going to insert slide num plus index from the row. And we're going to insert the slide because we're passing into insert slide the insertion index, which is an integer. We're adding the index, and then we're adding the slide. And we're going to say new slides added is equal to new slides added plus 1. So I'm also going to write another function called update template slides. And we're going to say the pres ID for this one is the template slides. Same idea as above, so I'm just going to paste that in. And then the sheet is going to be the deck generator. Slide count is equal to slides app dot open by ID. We're going to get the presentation ID, get the slides, and take the length. And then we're going to create an empty array and use the slides app again to open by ID, pres ID, get slides. For each of those, we're going to push to the template slides array, the slide dot, and I'm just going to do this one more time. We're going to push the string into that array from the presentation, the speaker notes section. Say sheet.get range, second row, 9th column, slide count. So how many rows do you want to go for? Set values equal to the template slides.map. I index of for each of those, we're going to just put the value. So now if I change this function to update template slides and click Command R or run here, you'll see these were added to the 9th column. And now we can select which slide we want to insert into the deck that we just kind of wrote the code for. Amazing. So now I'm going to rerun let's just see where we are. Command R for sheet create slides, and now we should have the replace text done and inserting a slide from the template gallery. Build folder again, open the report, and we added the funding slide, and these template strings have been replaced. We also, one thing to note, we need to, and I'll just add this real quick. So actually I'm going to move these down to the bottom because I feel like we want to do this last. We want to just go through every slide and make sure that these are updated, and some things could be happening that replace that function. So Let's keep those down there. And finally, we need to add a chart. So in this if statement, we also want to say if slide dot, let's get this, is equal to chart, return chart slide num equal to Indy. So now we have the charts. Let's go back over here and just take a look. This has the speaker note set to chart, and this is the slide we're going to add the chart to. So we're going to get the chart. Const chart equals chart data, that other tab we want to get, and we're going to say get charts, and we're going to get the first one, so the 0th index. And now we're going to say new deck dot get slides, index of chart slide num. We're going to insert sheets chart as image. We're going to pass in the chart that we just grabbed. And now this takes some playing around with. So you want to set the width, scale the height, set the top, and this kind of just positions the chart in the slide. Set left. So I recommend just setting the width, setting the top, and then playing around with the different settings. And I can drop a link to this documentation in the description below. And I believe now let's go back here and remove this report. And now I am going to Command R to run. Go back to the build folder. Okay. If you notice, all the headings have been updated as expected. We've inserted the org chart. And we need to, we need to add one. I'm actually going to move the chart function up here because I'm wondering if inserting the slide is throwing off the slide number. I'm going to run this one more time. And now the chart is being added to the right slide. Okay, that was it. So there you have it. We have a deck that you can update dynamically with text, adding pre-formatted slides, adding charts. That's the most common use case I've come across in my work, building proposals for clients, and doing this dynamically makes it a hell of a lot easier. I hope you found this helpful. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're feeling so compelled for more content like this, and thank you for your time.